Hello, my incredible learners. I'm beyond excited to speak with you today because what I'm about to share has the power to transform your English learning journey in ways you've never imagined. Listen carefully. English is not as hard as it seems. It is not impossible to learn English. You can speak English fluently, and you can do it much faster than you think. And today, I am going to show you how. I know that many of you might feel anxious or nervous when you try to speak English. Some of you hesitate, get stuck on words, or sometimes you don't even try because you're scared of making mistakes. And guess what? It's completely okay to feel this way. I completely understand. I know how frustrating it is to understand English when you read or listen to it. But when it's time to speak, your mind just blanks out. You may even feel like you're not improving, even though you've been studying for years. But here's something I want to remind you of. This is not the end of your learning journey. You are just getting started, and from this moment forward, everything is going to change for you. You're going to unlock the secrets to learning English in the easiest, most natural way possible. And the best part is that you will do it faster than you think. Now, let me be clear. You do not need to study grammar all day, memorize lists of vocabulary, or worry about being perfect. What's the key to speaking English? It's living the language. It's about breathing it, thinking it, and using it every single day. The key to mastering English is not sitting in a classroom or memorizing complicated rules. It's about living with the language. Let's take a moment to really think about how you learned your first language. Did you sit down and read grammar books for hours? Did you study long lists of vocabulary? No. You learned by listening, imitating, and by making mistakes. You didn't worry about whether you were speaking correctly. You simply used the language every day. This is the exact same approach you will use to learn English. So, today, I want you to forget everything that has made English feel difficult for you. Forget the complicated grammar rules. Forget trying to be perfect. And most importantly, forget the fear of making mistakes. Because here's the truth. The biggest reason why people fail to speak English is fear. Fear of making mistakes. Fear of sounding silly. Fear of being judged. But now, I want you to ask yourself, how did you learn to walk? A child doesn't give up after falling a few times, right? They get up and keep trying over and over again until they walk without even thinking about it. The same thing happens with language learning. Mistakes are a natural part of the process. If you're not making mistakes, you're not learning. So, I want you to say this with me. English is easy. I can speak English. I am improving my English speaking skills every day. These words are powerful. The more you say them, the more your brain will start to believe them. Believe it or not, the way you think about English will make all the difference in your learning progress. Step 1. Change your mindset. The first step to mastering English is to change your mindset. If you believe English is hard, your brain will resist learning it. But if you start believing that English is easy, your brain will start to accept that. Your confidence will grow, and your progress will accelerate. This is exactly how learning English works. Mistakes are part of the process. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. In fact, if you're not making mistakes, You're not pushing yourself to grow. Repeat after me. Mistakes help me learn. From today, stop saying things like, my English is bad, or I can't speak English. Instead, say, I am learning and improving every day. These small changes in how you think will make a big impact on your learning progress. Step 2. Surround yourself with English. Now that your mindset has shifted, let's move on to the next important step, surrounding yourself with English. Many people believe that, in order to become fluent, they need to live in an English-speaking country. But that's not true. You can create an English environment wherever you are. One simple way to start is by changing the language on your phone to English. Every time you check your phone, you'll see English words. And trust me, this will start to feel normal soon. It's a small change, but it makes a big impact on your language learning. Another powerful technique is to start thinking in English. At first, you might think in your native language and then translate it into English. But that slows down your speaking. Instead, try thinking in English. For example, when you wake up, think, I am getting out of bed now. I will brush my teeth. The more you do this, the more natural it will feel. And guess what? You can even talk to yourself. I know it might sound funny, but talking to yourself in English is a powerful way to practice. Stand in front of the mirror and have a conversation. Ask yourself, how are you today? Or, what should I do next? Practice speaking without fear. This is a great way to improve your confidence and your ability to think and speak in English. Step 3. Stop worrying about grammar. A common mistake many learners make is focusing too much on grammar. It's important to understand grammar, but it's not the first step. If you focus too much on grammar, you'll always be afraid to speak. Think about how children learn their first language. They don't study grammar books. They learn by listening, repeating, and speaking. The grammar will come naturally. Instead of memorizing rules, focus on simple sentences. For example, instead of trying to learn every rule of the present continuous tense, just focus on sentences like, I am eating, or she is going to work. These simple sentences will help you start speaking more quickly. Once you start speaking, listen and repeat. Listen to how native speakers talk. Don't just understand the sentence, say it out loud. The more you do this, the more your grammar will improve naturally. Step 4. Speak English every day. Now that you're surrounded by English and have shifted your mindset, it's time to speak English every day. Don't wait for the perfect time to start practicing. Do it now. The more you speak, the more confident you will become. Even if it's just for a few minutes a day, speaking in English is essential to becoming fluent. Talk to yourself, talk to a friend, or even talk to a mirror. Don't worry about making mistakes. Focus on speaking, and soon you'll feel more comfortable. Try to incorporate English into your daily life. If you're cooking dinner, say, I am cooking now. This smells delicious. If you're on your way to work, say, I am driving to work now. It's a nice day. These simple actions will help make speaking English part of your daily routine. And before you know it, it will become as natural as breathing. Step 5. Build confidence through practice. One of the most important things to remember when learning a language is that confidence comes with practice. Speak every day, even if it's just for a few minutes. talk to your reflection, your family, or a friend. The more you practice, the more confident you will become. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Mistakes are just stepping stones toward improvement. Here's an important tip. The more you speak, the easier it will become. When you speak every day, you start to feel more comfortable with the language. Soon, you'll speak without even thinking about it. Now, you've learned how to start speaking English naturally, with confidence and without fear. You've unlocked the key to fluency, living, thinking, and speaking in English every day. Now, we're going to dive into a topic that is so crucial for mastering the language: how to build your vocabulary in a fun, effective, and natural way. I know many of you might feel frustrated with your vocabulary. Maybe you find yourself forgetting words, or maybe you're struggling to learn new words that are useful for everyday conversations. Perhaps you feel like your vocabulary isn't growing fast enough, and you might even feel like you're stuck. But let me tell you something, it doesn't have to be that way. Learning vocabulary can be easy, fun, and incredibly rewarding. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how to make it happen. So, grab your notebook, take a deep breath, and let's get started. Why vocabulary is so important. Before we dive into how to build your vocabulary, let's take a moment to understand why vocabulary is so important in your journey to fluency. Imagine this. You're speaking English and you come across a word you don't know. Suddenly, you feel stuck. You can't express your thoughts clearly, and the conversation becomes awkward. This is why having a strong vocabulary is essential. The more words, the more you'll understand what others are saying, and the more effectively you can communicate. But there's one more thing you need to know about vocabulary. It's not just about memorizing words, it's about learning how to use them in real-life situations. The more words you learn, the more confident you'll feel when speaking, and the more fluent you'll become. So, how do we start building this vocabulary? Let me show you how. Step 1. Learn vocabulary in context. One of the most important strategies for learning new words is to learn them in context. What does that mean? It means learning how words are used in sentences and real-life situations, rather than just memorizing definitions. When you learn vocabulary in context, you start to understand how to use the word and when to use it. For example, if you learn the word excited, don't just memorize the definition. Learn how to use it in sentences. I'm excited for the weekend. Or, she was excited to meet her favorite celebrity. Learning words this way helps you remember them more easily. You're not just memorizing a list of words, you're seeing how they fit into real conversations. The next time you hear that word, you'll immediately understand its meaning, and you'll be able to use it naturally. Step 2. Use the one-word-a-day method. Now, let's move on to a simple and fun way to build your vocabulary. The one-word-a-day method. This method is incredibly effective because it's focused, manageable, and easy to do every day. Here's how it works. 1. Choose one new word each day. Pick a word that you find interesting or useful for your daily life. You can find new words in books, TV shows, or movies. You can also pick words from conversations you've had or topics you're learning about. 2. Learn the word. Look up the meaning of the word, check the pronunciation, and make sure you understand how it's used in a sentence. 3. Use the word throughout the day. Once you've learned the word, use it in different sentences throughout your day. If your new word is amazing, say things like, "That movie was amazing," or "I had an amazing time at the party." By doing this, you'll expose yourself to the word in different contexts, and soon it will become part of your active vocabulary. If you do this every day for a month, you will have learned 30 new words. Imagine how much your vocabulary will grow. Step 3. Use flashcards. If you want to speed up your learning, flashcards are powerful tools you should start using right away. You can make your own flashcards with paper. Flashcards are great because they allow you to review words multiple times, which helps reinforce them in your memory. Here's how to make the most out of flashcards. 1. Write the word on one side. On the other side, write the definition or an example sentence. 2. Review them regularly. Flashcards are effective for reinforcing vocabulary when you review them often. Whether it's once a day or once a week, the key is consistency. These tools are fun, interactive, and they turn vocabulary learning into a game. Spend just 10 to 15 minutes a day on them, and you'll notice significant improvements. Step 4. Watch TV shows and videos in English. Now, let's talk about one of the most enjoyable ways to build your vocabulary: watching TV shows and videos in English. This is an excellent way to learn real-world vocabulary and pick up on phrases and expressions that native speakers use in everyday life. When you watch content in English, make sure to watch with subtitles in your native language first, then switch to English subtitles once you get more comfortable. This will help you connect what you hear to how it's written. Repeat new words and phrases aloud. Try saying the new words exactly how the characters do in the video. This will help improve your pronunciation and make the vocabulary stick in your mind. Take notes. If there's a word or expression you don't understand, pause the video and look it up. Write it down in a notebook, along with its meaning and an example sentence. Later, practice using that word in your own sentences. This method works because you're learning vocabulary that's directly related to real conversations and real-life situations, so you'll be able to use it naturally. Step 5. Engage in real conversations. Another powerful way to learn new words and phrases is by speaking with others. Engage in real conversations with native speakers, friends, or language partners. This is where you'll really see your vocabulary grow. Speaking is one of the best ways to test how well you've learned new words. Plus, when you have a conversation, you'll be exposed to vocabulary in a practical, real-time setting, and you'll be forced to use the words you've learned. You can join language exchange programs. There are many platforms where you can connect with people who want to learn your native language while you practice English. Talk to friends or family members. Set aside time each day to talk to someone in English. Even if you make mistakes, this is an excellent way to practice and expand your vocabulary. Step 6. Keep a vocabulary journal. Another great way to build your vocabulary is to keep a vocabulary journal. Every time you learn a new word, write it down along with its meaning, pronunciation, and a sentence where you've used it. Why is this so effective? Because it helps you actively engage with the word, not just memorize it. Every week, go back and review your vocabulary journal to see how many words you've learned. Over time, your journal will become a collection of words you can look back on for practice and inspiration. Step 7. Learn vocabulary through themes. To make your vocabulary learning even more effective, try focusing on themes. Learning words in thematic groups like food, travel, or emotions helps you remember them because they are connected in your mind. For example, if you're learning words related to food, you could learn words like fruit, vegetables, spicy, sweet, bitter, delicious, etc. When you learn words that are related to one another, you build connections in your brain that make it easier to recall them. Step 8. Be patient and keep practicing. Finally, one of the most important things to remember when building your vocabulary is to be patient and keep practicing. Building a strong vocabulary takes time, and it's normal to forget words or struggle at first. But don't give up. Every word you learn brings you one step closer to fluency. The more you practice, the faster you'll see progress. These are the best strategies to build your vocabulary in a fun, practical, and effective way. I want you to remember, learning vocabulary isn't about memorization, it's about living with the language. Use these methods, make vocabulary a part of your daily routine, and watch your confidence soar. Your vocabulary is the foundation of your English fluency. By learning in context, using technology, speaking with others, and practicing daily, you will see incredible results. Now, let's focus on one of the most effective and powerful ways to become a fluent English speaker, practicing speaking regularly. This is the key to improving your fluency, and we'll talk about why it's so important, how you can fit it into your daily routine, and some actionable tips to get you started. So let's dive in. First things first, why is practicing speaking regularly so important? Speaking is the skill that makes you actively use the language you're learning. While reading and listening are important for building your vocabulary and understanding grammar, speaking is where you put all of that knowledge into practice. When you speak regularly, you start to internalize new words, improve your pronunciation, and build your confidence. Not only does regular speaking practice help you become more fluent, but it also helps you sound more natural. It helps you understand the rhythm and flow of English, which is crucial for effective communication. So, if you're serious about improving your English, speaking has to be part of your daily routine. Tip 1. Speak with friends or language partners. One of the easiest and most effective ways to practice speaking is by engaging in conversations with other people. Whether it's friends, language partners, or tutors, speaking with others helps you build your confidence and allows you to practice real-world English. Don't worry about being perfect. Everyone makes mistakes. What matters is that you're getting used to speaking in real conversations, even if you stumble sometimes. And the best part? You'll get direct feedback from your language partner. Tip number 2, talk to yourself in English. Now, this might sound a little strange, but talking to yourself in English is actually a great way to practice. It helps you get used to speaking out loud without the pressure of an audience. It's a wonderful way to build your fluency and vocabulary. Start by describing your surroundings or talking about your thoughts and feelings in English. For example, you could say things like, "I'm going to the grocery store today," Or, I really enjoyed watching that movie last night. As you get more comfortable, challenge yourself by talking about more complex things, like your plans for the future or your opinions on current events. Talking to yourself might feel a bit awkward at first, but the more you do it, the easier and more natural it becomes. It's a great way to fill those quiet moments in your day with productive practice. Tip 3. Set speaking goals and track progress. Setting clear, achievable goals is key to making progress. When it comes to speaking practice, set daily or weekly goals like, I'll speak in English for 10 minutes a day, or I'll record myself talking about a specific topic for 5 minutes. Having a goal gives you something to work toward and helps you stay consistent. You could even track your progress in a journal. Setting goals keeps you motivated, and being able to see how far you've come will boost your confidence. A lot of learners focus on grammar and vocabulary, but if your pronunciation isn't clear, it can be tough for others to understand you. Good pronunciation is key to being understood by others. Even if you know a lot of vocabulary and have great grammar, if your pronunciation isn't clear, people may have a hard time understanding what you're saying. Think of pronunciation as the bridge that connects your words to the listener. It ensures that your message is delivered accurately. Imagine if someone couldn't understand your sentences because of mispronounced words. Frustrating, right? That's why focusing on pronunciation is one of the most effective ways to improve your speaking skills and become a more confident speaker. The main strategy to improve your pronunciation is by recording yourself. It might seem a bit strange at first, but recording yourself speaking in English is one of the best ways to notice areas where you need to improve. Here's how it works. Pick a sentence or a short paragraph and speak it into your phone or computer. After recording, play it back and listen carefully. How do you sound? Is your pronunciation clear? Are there words that you find difficult to pronounce? Listening to your own voice helps you spot areas where you're making mistakes. Maybe you're pronouncing a sound incorrectly or stressing the wrong syllable. By doing this regularly, you'll start to hear patterns in your speech, and you can work to correct them. It's also a great way to track your progress. Over time, you'll notice how your pronunciation improves, which is incredibly motivating. I recommend recording yourself daily, even if it's just for a few minutes. Now, let's talk about the final and one of the most powerful habits you can build is learning to think in English rather than translating from your native language. Let's dive into how thinking in English can improve your fluency and make your conversations smoother. Thinking in English is such an important skill. When you translate from your native language to English in real time, it can slow you down. You might spend extra time searching for words, constructing sentences, or trying to match grammar rules. This can make you feel less confident and fluent. However, when you start thinking directly in English, you bypass that mental translation process. You become more spontaneous, quicker, and more natural in your conversations. Thinking in English allows you to express yourself without hesitation. It helps you become more confident because you won't be pausing every time you need to find a word or worry about getting the grammar exactly right. Your brain will get used to English, and your fluency will improve over time. So, how can you train yourself to think in English? Let's break it down into some simple steps and tips that you can start using right away. The first step to thinking in English is to start with simple thoughts. You don't need to think about complex topics right away. Just begin by describing the small things you do every day in English. Opens the fridge and says aloud in English, "I'm opening the fridge. I'm going to get some milk. I think I'll make a cup of coffee." By thinking about simple actions like this, you begin to get used to using English in your daily life. It doesn't matter if you're at home, at work, or even walking outside. Just start describing your surroundings and actions in English. This will gradually train your brain to think in English naturally without translating. Once you're comfortable thinking about simple activities, you can start working your way up to more complex thoughts. Instead of just describing what you're doing, try to think about ideas, opinions, and plans in English. Thank you so much for watching. I truly hope you found this video packed with practical tips and techniques to boost your English speaking skills. Remember, improving your fluency, enhancing your confidence, and sharpening your communication are all within your reach, with a little bit of effort and consistency. If you've stayed with me so far, that's awesome. But if you haven't had a chance to catch the entire video, I really encourage you to go back and watch it all the way through. Each technique I shared, like building your vocabulary step by step with targeted learning and practicing grammar exercises to make your sentences effective and clear, is designed to bring real transformation. Trust me, you'll walk away with tools you can start applying today. And don't forget, learning a new language is a journey, not a race. Every single step, no matter how small, gets you closer to achieving your goal. Whether it's being able to confidently hold a conversation, excelling in your studies, or advancing in your career, these skills are your gateway to countless opportunities. If you're ready to take this learning process even further, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join this amazing community of learners just like you. We're all here to support each other, and by subscribing, you won't miss out on any of the helpful tips, resources, and motivation to keep improving. Think of it as a partner on your language learning adventure. Finally, remember this important thing: practice consistently and celebrate your progress, no matter how small it feels. The techniques I've shared today are like seeds you plant for strong and beautiful growth. The more you nurture them through consistent practice, the greater your results will be. Thank you once again for being here and investing in yourself. I'm so excited to hear about your progress and your wins. Drop a comment below to share how these tips are helping you, or if there's something you'd like me to cover in future videos. Keep practicing, keep growing, and I'll catch you in the next video. Until then, take care and happy learning.